Greetings, everyone. You old bearded dude here, doing yet another review for an entry into the 2018 Indie Game Maker Contest. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, great bearded one! The imagery, it's going by way too fast. What's the deal? Well, unfortunately, as I was doing my recording for this, as you may have seen in my other videos, what I do is a first-time playthrough uh, re- uh, recording where you actually get to hear my thoughts as I play through the game. Unfortunately, what appears to have happened was the I wasn't recording my voice for some reason. I don't know quite what happened, but there it is. So, unfortunately, the idea of going back and replaying it again sort of defeats the purpose of a first impression playthrough. So what I'm going to do this time instead, with the hope that I never run into this problem again, knock on wood, is just go ahead and give my thoughts on the game this time around, and without all the other hubbub, especially because I know I had a couple of really great jokes in there that unfortunately I'm not sure I'm going to be able to remember uh, as I try to play through it again. So this game that I played is Dojo Master, submitted by Lot Cole 88. What is it? Lot Cole? You mean you named yourself after this magnificent bastard? Oh, that's just awesome right there. Just awesome. Anyway, back to the game. Dojo Master, based off of what is in the description, is a game where you create your character, and then you are to become the new Dojo Master. It's right there in the title. No secrets hidden there. Although the way that sort of happens is a little funny. I did sort of enjoy that opening scene on here, especially with some of the options that you could give, which I didn't get a chance to explore all of them, but it was fun. Now, as far as the gameplay itself is concerned, there's a lot of really interesting concepts here. When the former master tells you that you are in charge of the dojo, it means you are in charge of the dojo. That means not just finding and recruiting new students, but you're also responsible for the upkeep of the dojo, um, as well as making sure that it's properly supplied, and also going out and improving the reputation for your dojo. So that means actually going out and interacting with the world around you. And performing various tasks. Matter of fact, there is a quest board, or a task board, actually, is what he calls it, in the town that you go to at first. Also, the master can provide you with tasks as well. And these tasks vary in nature, from going out and collecting certain items that you have to fight monsters for, to the first one that I actually completed was outside of the main quest one that he sort of gives you to tell you how tasks work. Was you had to go find a lost puppy, and you had to go to a certain place and bring that back. And that was actually a fairly interesting one, because it tells you that it shows you that your actions actually have consequences. This one would have been a more fairly minor one, but you're given a couple options. You can either give the child a dog and say all in a day's work, or you can say, "Hey, I need some kind of reward for what I did for you." And depending on those choices would determine what type of reputation outcome that you get, also whether or not you actually get a reward or not. So that was actually, again, another interesting concept, to make sure that the choices you make will have real world, well, game world consequences. one issue that I ran into was in actually the character creation screen. The parts didn't match, or you didn't have access to all of the parts. For you're given the option to choose any face that you wanted for the base face, but all the other parts, the eyes, nose, mouth, only brought up the female part. So you didn't get to choose any of the male parts to choose for your character. I don't know if that was intentional. I highly doubt it. So I'm assuming it's just a coding error when he was putting in the plugin for this. But it resulted in me making a very weird looking character. Other than that, the graphics and music is all stuff that comes standard in the RPG Maker MV library. I think he may have had a couple of add-ons that he bought for it or he got for it. Otherwise, though, um, it was just the standard fare kind of stuff, which is nothing wrong with that. It did not detract from the gameplay at all, but it just didn't stand out either. So, what are my final thoughts on this? Dojo Master is actually a very fun-looking game. It has a lot of different elements going on for it that do not make it feel that it's too crowded, and allows you to change up the gameplay from time to time. So, if you're tired of going out and beating the snot out of monsters, you can go back and work at the temple, or you can go and perhaps do a couple other non-combat tasks for the town folk, things like that too. So having that mix of different types of gameplay helps keep the game constantly be able to be refreshed in your mind. Give you a little palate cleanser maybe from time to time, while still progressing throughout the game. Um, Other than that, I said I'm actually looking forward to what Lockle 88 has planned for this in the future. He gives a couple of hints of things that he is wanting to do within the game itself. So he literally puts it right there in the game. This is something I'm going to be doing. He has it put in there as part of the narrative, which I thought was actually really cool. So, Lockle 88, this is a really fun game. I'm, again, like I said, looking forward to what's going to happen next. And I think you're going to be doing well in this competition. For everyone else, again, I want to thank you for watching this out of the ordinary, for the guy this is only going to be video number 4 for, but still out of the ordinary video. And you guys have yourselves a great rest of your day. Yield Beer Dudes signing off. Good night.